Welcome to the Airbnb Roadmap, the podcast designed to navigate you through the entire journey of short-term rental success. Whether you're just starting out or ready to take your hosting game to the next level. My husband and I became super hosts within just months of launching our first Airbnb and have proudly kept that title ever since. With over 350 reviews and an overall 4.95 star ratings, we picked up a hack or two I'm excited to share with you. In each episode, I break down the strategies, insights, and industry secrets that set profitable short-term rentals apart. From choosing the right property, understanding local regulations, and obtaining your listing to go beyond just the basics. I'm here to share everything you need to succeed. So if you're ready to map out your path to Airbnb success and unlock the full potential of short-term rentals, join me on the Airbnb Roadmap. Your journey starts here. Hey, I'm Brittany Wenninger with Front Porch Realty, powered by Real Broker LLC. And today's episode is going to be very authentic, I can never say this word. Vulnerable, I guess. So we are doing the home renovations for the new Airbnbs right now. Everything is going very smooth, and honestly, it's probably like one of the definitely an easier renovation than the ones that we had to do in the past. One of our cabins took 6 months. That one was, I don't even want to say that one was awful. It was more fun because it was 40 minutes away from Madison. So my husband and I, we did not have Melanie at the time, but we pretty much lived at this cabin for 6 months renovating, and it wasn't that bad. Clay still was able to drive to work. I was still able to do real estate and drive to the gym. So not too shabby. The other renovation, our very first one, I would say that one was the more tough one because we were very clueless. We didn't have any tools. And we were balling on a budget. Shoot, we still are balling on a budget, but at that one, we were more balling on a budget. And then our third property, that one was not terrible for Clay. I would say it was pretty bad for me. And that's when I was pregnant, and I had a very, very easy pregnancy. Like, I only threw up twice. Sorry for the graphic, but only twice, and it was not bad whatsoever. It was just more exhausting on my body to be painting with a mask on and doing all of those like tasks that I normally do, like it was just a breeze. So that one was more draining on my body than anything. And plus, that cabin / house has hardwood floors, and they're very hard. I know that sounded very weird, but it was true. Like, you need to kind of wear slippers throughout the house. Like, my feet kind of hurt just like walking around on that floor. And I think part of it was the pregnancy, but overall, like, not really the most comfortable stay. This renovation, however, is going very smooth. Not a crazy amount of like work needs to be done, but we are doing some crazy things like murals and painting, wallpaper on the ceiling, building a fence, like just like random weird stuff like that. And again, not too shabby. The only part that I'm going to complain about is that every weekend we are there, and our grandparents are kind of switching off on who's taking care of Melanie. So that means that Clay and I are just, hustling and doing all these renovations where I could have been spending some time with baby Melanie. So that's kind of the crappy part. I didn't think I would feel like this. I thought that I would be like, heck yeah, let's do renovations because I love that stuff. But now I'm kind of like, I want to take her to the zoo. I want to take her to the pumpkin patch, and I want to support my friend that's doing a high rocks competition in Chicago. I want to go to my uncle's iron pour, like stuff like that. But instead, I'm doing renovations. So I did tell Clay, I don't know if this is going to be true or not, but I did tell him that after this renovation, after we launch number 4 and 5, I do want to take a year break and start enjoying like the little life stuff that I have been missing out on, and actually like doing fun things over the weekend and going to Chicago to support a friend last minute. Like those are the things that I think, that's why you work. That's why you grind, so you can have money to do all those things. Well, now I want to start doing those things. So we will see if Clay actually stays true to my I guess my wish to kind of like take 1 year off of renovations for Airbnbs. Now, I have a really, really good feeling that he's probably going to find a property that he wants to buy and do it all over again, because he's kind of in the hustle, grind situation, which I mean, I am too, but he can't stop. Like, he is addicted to Zillow, which I love for him, better than, Instagram or Facebook, but he can't stop. So we will see if it stays true on taking a 1 year off of renovations. And I'm not saying like 1 year off, like completely, like from the podcast, from, real estate and managing. Like, this is literally just renovations, because we have been buying one property every year, sometimes two. So yeah, and I think I justified this feeling of mine yesterday. Yesterday, I was in such a bad mood. I was supposed to be recording this podcast episode, and here we are doing it on a Tuesday morning. So Clay and I, well, mostly Clay, he wakes up at 4:30. So my day started with him waking me up at 4:30, saying we have a problem. Don't ever wake someone up saying we have a problem. Like, that's scary. Well, he woke me up saying that, and he looked at the thermostat in one of our cabins. This cabin is pure wood, no attic, like open vaulted ceilings, so heat escapes really easily. So he was like, oh God. I was like, what? Like, what's going on? You literally just woke me up in the worst way. Like, what's happening? And he said that our cabin is 53 degrees. I was like, oh shit. Because in Wisconsin right now, we are pretty much in winter and pipe freeze. And this is one of those cabins that you do not want the pipes to freeze and burst, because that's pretty much a tear down at that point. So panic mode. And did I go back to bed? Absolutely not. That's all I thought about was, how cold our cabin is. And I looked at someone staying at the cabin, looked at the messages. He messaged me at 9:30 last night saying, hey, there's only cold air blowing through the vents. I went to bed at 8:30, so I was passed out by the time that he messaged me. Unfortunately, I did not see that. So when we woke up, that's what we woke up to. Well, one of my best friends, Carrie, she was on the podcast. She lives right next door. So I texted her. I was like, hey, right when you wake up, please let me know. Me and baby Melanie will go to your house, and I'm just going to be there. So right when these guests wake up, I have no idea how they were sleeping at pretty much 45 degree weather, but like temperature in the cabin. How the hell are you sleeping through that? But they did. So I was like, right when they wake up, that way I can be literally 2 minutes away, and I can run over there and try to figure out / fix this furnace problem. Melanie and I were, getting ready and all that stuff. We go to Carrie's house. That was actually really fun seeing Carrie, and she gave me my birthday present. So thank you for that. But anywho, so they finally woke up at like 7 o'clock, and I got to Carrie's at like 6. So I was like tapping my foot. I was like, come on. It's really cold out. The temperature is only dropping, kind of like panic mode. Well, finally at 7 o'clock, I get to the house, and it was cold in there. And I FaceTime my husband, and he was kind of cranky with me, because when I'm in like a high pressure situation, especially when someone's like watching me try to like pretend to be a handyman, it's very stressful. So I was just kind of like making some dumb decisions, and I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, oh, maybe the breaker is triggered. Well, I started like switching all these breakers. And the funny thing is like the furnace was on. So like clearly the breaker was not triggered because it was on. So it wasn't a breaker issue. And I was like, well, maybe like ran out of propane tank or fuel or whatever it's called. And called them. They said, no, it's at 40. I was like, well, shit, like I'm running out of ideas because those were my two ideas. Other thought was that the guest was just kind of dumb and didn't turn it from cool to heat. Well, that wasn't it. He was very competent and did that. Other idea was that the filter was dirty. Well, yes, the filter was dirty, but well, I didn't have a new one, so I had to keep it there. So running out of ideas, Clay was not really, he was helping. He was like trying to like figure it out as well. But like, he was like, I don't know, just call Cliff. He's our HVAC guy. So called him, FaceTime our HVAC guy. He was dumbfounded. I was like, oh my God, like this is a nightmare. Like, come on. Thankfully, in that cabin, we have mini splits. I went through the whole house and turned on the mini splits to heat. And I'm shocked that like the guests didn't do that. But I mean, hey, not everyone is familiar with mini splits. So thankfully with that, with the 3 mini splits that we have, if you don't know what a mini split is, it's a ductless heating and cooling unit that is like on a wall. Anyways, thankfully with that, the temperature got to 46 and I did open up all the curtains to get all that natural light in / heat. But the HVAC guy finally went there at like 1 o'clock and thankfully our guests but they wanted to go to Madison to go check out the mustard museum. How wild. Like you're traveling to Wisconsin to check out a mustard museum. He said that he really liked mustard. I was like, I love that for you. So he wasn't even in the cabin, thankfully. All said and done, it was like this wild component in the furnace that was corroded from the LP tank. And they had to switch it out. Well, we get home. I was like in a good mood, and baby Melanie just got home, and I was like, yay, like I can spend some time with baby Melanie. Well, when I got home, I was like, hey, what temperature is it? And Clay's like, oh, it's at 62, and it seems like it's staying there. And I was like, oh, okay, thinking that's probably still gonna rise, right? Well, Clay picked up Melanie, came back home, and I was like, hey, what degree is it? He's like, I told you it was stuck. And I was like, oh my God, he's cranky. My life, like my day is gonna be fun. So he was like, I wonder if it's a dirty filter. And he was like, you have to figure it out tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is not today. I have to be in Janesville to launch an Airbnb. So I was like, F it, I'm just gonna go tonight because I just do not have time for tomorrow. So I had to leave baby Melanie and go switch out a furnace filter. And yeah, that was not fun. It's deer season, so the deer are wild right now. So almost hit about 3 of them on the backcountry roads. And at that point, I literally was thinking to myself, I would love to sell all of my Airbnbs. I am so done with this. I am like missing Melanie time, not cool. And I was like, I am done. Just pack up, sell everything, move on, find my next adventure. So that was my day yesterday. And that shows that take your own damn advice. A couple episodes ago, I had given everyone advice on how to winterize your cabin, get your furnace checked, change out your filters, all this stuff. And well, did I take my own advice? Absolutely not. And here we are, our furnace went out, cold weather, and I also had to miss some, like 3 hours of baby Melanie time. And I know 3 hours isn't bad, but it's like still it's 3 hours. So I had to miss that time because I had to switch out furnace filters. So overall, that was cool. Am I selling my Airbnbs? Absolutely not. I still love them. I was just in a very cranky mood yesterday, and you know I'm in a cranky mood when I literally do not talk to my husband when I get home. Nor did I even say goodbye or kiss them goodbye when I left. So that shows how cranky I am. or I guess was. Today's a new day, guys. New day, new leaf. Turned it over. We are good. I'm back to being happy, and my Airbnbs will not be for sale. They are thriving, and I'm still obviously managing them with not that much effort into it. So there's that. What else do I have to tell you? I told you this episode was like very kind of gloomy, to be honest. That was my day. And those days happen when you are self-managing and you just have some crappy days and your furnace goes out in freezing weather. Yeah. Next week we'll have a guest on the podcast, so I'm super excited about that. And I also just signed listing contracts for a crazy Airbnb resort situation in La Crosse. This one is going to take like a big investor. So if you are interested in kind of like an Airbnb resort, please reach out. He is selling 2 units. One of them is a duplex. The other one is a cabin. And then he has 6 others that he'll be selling in the future. So then you can take over this huge resort type situation. But it's on a cliff. Like the cabins are on a cliff. Absolutely gorgeous views. Like I have never been breathless, I guess. I've never been breathless with a view. During that appointment, it's kind of like the Las Vegas sphere. You walk out on the balcony and it's like all around you, just breathtaking views. And it was during the fall and I was like damn near about to cry. It was wild. The experience was so good. And he will be selling the duplex and the cabin, and they are amazing. I have the link to actually I won't have it for today, but for next week's episode, I'll have the link to, just kidding. I'm going to link the resort website. There we go. Resort website in the show notes so you can see it. If you're interested and would love to, have a secure path to Airbnb success and own your own resort, let me know. This thing is wild. I'm so excited for it. He's selling because he wants to take that money and buy a 5-bedroom like crazy house in Colorado. So he's like, this was my baby. Now it's not anymore. Time for me to open up a new chapter. So let me know. But till next time, sorry that this was kind of like a weird episode, but that's how I'm feeling. Kind of weird today. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for joining me on the Airbnb Roadmap. If you're loving these episodes and want to keep the conversation going, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with someone who's ready to dive into the world of short-term rentals. Got a question or topic you would love to hear about? Reach out. This podcast is all about learning and growing together. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the Airbnb Roadmap Podcast, for more tips, tricks, and behind-the-scene insights. Until next time, here's to turning your short-term rental dreams into thriving realities. I'll see you back here soon.